The internet is cracked, the show that asks the question, can we coexist with our creation?
Hi, I'm Seth Camillo.
And I am Caroline Risberg, and we are The Internet is Cracked by Addicts for Addicts.
And today we are super lucky to have Dr. Bina joining us. She's a leading expert in blockchain technology, and she's the director of the Blockchain Think Lab at the University of Buffalo and author of Blockchain in Action. And we're going to talk about cryptocurrency, blockchain, and a whole lot more.
Mhm.
So we are very lucky to have you because you
Mhm.
are a real deal expert, and we are hungry for that information.
Mhm.
And we just want to thank you for joining us.
Yeah, I'm very
Yeah.
happy to join you. I enjoy talking to people. Yeah.
Great.
Thank
Wonderful.
you for
Wonderful.
being here. Thank you. Thank you. And so I'm going to start asking the first question. And is how would you explain blockchain, cryptocurrency, and decentralized finance to
Mhm.
someone who has never heard it before or don't understand it?
Um, you can think of blockchain as like a road, you know,
Mhm.
road. And you can think of cryptocurrency as the automobiles and other vehicles that run on this road, delivering things from one place to another. It could be people, it could be goods, or another thing. And the applications are specialized vehicles that are running on it. Do you see what I mean? So that's what I would explain as they are peer-to-peer transactions delivering value to two parties anywhere. All they need is a bit of address for each other. Do you see what I mean? Just like Seth
Yeah.
and Bina, and I could send a value to you over the blockchain. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
And what is a block? So a blockchain is a piece of. Everybody says this is an incredible technology that's been invented.
Mhm.
So I'm not a computer scientist. What was the breakthrough that is so exciting about blockchain?
Okay. See, if you look at many other products that came about, it was either the governments or the companies. I don't want to name names. Many of them. They created these products and put it in there, and they are centrally governing these products. I can name them: Facebook,
Mm.
Google, Microsoft. I can go on and on and on. But this one is created by some unknown people. It's not controlled by a government. It's not controlled by a organization. It is something that anyone with a little computer and internet connection can get on board and use. Do you see what I mean? So within
Mm.
about 10-15 minutes maximum, I can set up an account and I can transact with anybody else who is on that network on the other side, blockchain network on the other side. That is impossible with the current system that I have. Like, if you have the account, I have the account on the blockchain, I can transact peer to peer without an intermediary, without a bank, without a country, without
Oh.
a company, a value to you. Do you see what I mean? That is possible um, by blockchain and cryptocurrency. The, the the enabling technology is the blockchain.
Okay.
Value that
Oh, okay.
the value that is transferred is a cryptocurrency.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
So things like
Yeah.
PayPal, Venmo, these
Mm.
are you're going through somebody's watching what you're doing is handling the transaction. But if
Mhm.
I want to pay Caroline for something over the blockchain,
Mhm.
n- nobody else would be involved.
Once we both are on blockchain, I can send you without knowing what's your bank, what's your name, what's your parents, and where do you locate. Nothing, without any intermediaries. I can send you a piece of cryptocurrency. Do you see what I mean? Coin. We transact wallet to wallet, my wallet to your wallet, my ID to your ID. Okay.
Hmm.
This ID, I can tell you this ID. If I ask you, Caroline, who gave you your name?
My mother and father.
Okay. And then when you were born, your country gave you a number, right?
Yes. Yes, yeah, it is.
Uh, but this DID or a decentralized ID on the blockchain is something you create, you're in custody of, you keep it safe.
Man.
And that is the difference between all those things, identification that you have from Nexus and Global Entry and other things to this ID is something that you create, you keep it, and nobody else, no country gives you, no organization gives you, you create it. This transaction that I sent cryptocurrency to set is recorded on the blockchain. It's a permanent record. It's a permanent record.
Permanent record. Okay.
The transaction is between two IDs, irrespective of the country, whether your language or region. It can be to Mars and Moon, even if you're space traveling. I can
Okay.
you. Do you see what I mean? But
So you
at the
don't need to know, like you don't need to know where I physically are. You don't have nothing to do with my country or
anything.
anything.
I can even send it to an
Interesting.
automobile. I can send it to a robot. Do you see what I mean?
Oh,
Yeah.
no. Okay.
Oh
But
no.
I think that's where some people take issue. Since you do not know the human identity behind this crypto identity, there's
Mm,
no KYC, know your customer, right? There
yeah.
are scammers. They're scammers, right? They say, "Oh, send me money, and then I'll send you, automobile." They don't send you the automobile. They run away with it. There's no way you can find out who it is. Do you see what I mean?
Oh,
They
oh,
hide.
Oh.
The scams are people hide behind these DID. That's what people are concerned about. Do you see what I mean? So,
yeah.
while it is so convenient to transact without any intermediaries, it is also a problem for I don't know who's behind this ID. Do you see what I mean?
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
and if it is good, like maybe for some, world hunger management or, some kind of a good organization, it is good. But what if it goes to somebody who's a scammer behind that and afterwards they just disappear? We don't even get anything. There's no jurisdiction. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
To bring them to punish them or find out what's happening, an investigation. And that's where I think people want policies and people want regulations and things like that to bring this under control. Sometimes we are in the frontier land. This is a really very potent technology. It has
Yeah.
lots of capabilities. When you have a technology with all these lots of capabilities, it also comes with its own issues. Like
Yes.
this you hear more about the scams and rug pulls and things like that,
Right.
um, which cannot be handled at this time. We do not have laws or policies to manage that at this point. I think
Mm,
that. That's something that we are hoping that the government will bring about.
right.
We say you can, if you use cryptocurrency, you cannot do this, or you can do this. I think some order is important. I think it's a good technology. It's a nice technology, but at the same time, I think tax laws, policies, what is in and what can you do and cannot what cannot you do? What you cannot
Right.
do. That has to be clearly written somewhere so that we all have, some guideline to function in
Yeah.
that area. What we need is some kind of a playground or some kind of a test bed for people like you, Seth and Caroline, to try
Mm,
out these things and be comfortable with it before we onboard you on the main road. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, we gotta get our
Yeah,
driver's
yeah.
license.
yeah,
So I
we
think
gotta
that's
have a driver
important.
license.
Yeah. And also education is important. So I have this book which is very, very technical, but I'm finishing up a book which is completely non-technical, explaining all the words. Like wallet is your I can explain. The wallet is the um is a um portal to the blockchain, okay, or entry
Mm,
point. is a gateway to the blockchain wallet.
Yes.
And the ID I talked about, decentralized ID, is a ticket for entry into the blockchain through the gateway. And
Yeah.
there are code which is called smart contract, which is like the gatekeeper. When you
Yeah.
Yeah.
enter, it's not that gatekeeper can implement policies and laws and things if they come about, and they say, you cannot do this, you can do this, you have to be 21, you have to be 18, and all those laws can be
Right.
implemented.
Do you worry that once people start regulating crypto, blockchain, Ethereum, all these things that are two party, only two parties involved, once the third party, the government, starts getting involved, does it destroy what makes it so unique and wonderful?
Yeah, I agree, but I think the government is not going to. Yeah, that's what I hope, that they don't stymie the innovation that is there in this beautiful technology. Do you see what I mean? So the crypto revolution is the next generation web. We also call it Web 3.
Yes, Web3.
Oh,
Okay, wait.
Web
yeah.
3.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Web 3, if you want in simple terms, Web 3 is cryptocurrency, blockchain, B, C, cryptocurrency, D, decentralized applications. B, C, D, right?
BC.
So
Okay.
decentralized applications. And one of the famous or well-known decentralized application is decentralized finance, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I think combination is called the Web 3. That means from Web 1, which is just information superhighway, to Web 2, where we are doing all these shopping and social media, to Web 3, where we can transact peer to peer the cryptocurrency, and have new model for decentralized finance and decentralized applications and so on. So I think it is a natural technical um, evolution, I would say, going into cryptocurrency. It's not going to go away, but it will coexist. It will coexist with
Okay.
the systems that we have, and it is something that people have to be educated about. People may think that it is still a scam, and they may not even do anything with it. That's fine. That's fine.
Right.
But um, I think every country in the world is going to turn to cryptocurrency to create their own cryptocurrency and do it. And just like, there's an example of automobiles in the turn of the last century. I read a lot of history. I learned from history. There are 250 automobile companies in Detroit all over, and then they consolidated to three. You see what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Likewise,
Yeah.
likewise, there is so many players. It's so confusing. It's so chaotic. But I think at some point, the rules, regulations. I'm not saying they will stymie the innovation, but at the same time, that will give some clarity to the businesses to get involved and to follow something like driving
Yeah.
on the right or left, or turn
Right.
left or turn right signals, and you know yield and things like that. And um, and I think that that's very important to understand, that everybody, it's all hands on deck,
Yeah.
Yeah.
including everybody, people in the street corners. Do you see what I mean? I think I've written somewhere, stable coins is a coin which is one to one with a fiat currency. Do you see what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
actually
Yeah.
explain that. Yeah, but stable. I guess I'm not familiar with the stable coin. So
I
it
know. I've heard
is
of
it
that.
linked to the dollar, or is how does it say stable?
okay, a stable coin is, you can think of stable coin as a um, you know collateralized cryptocurrency. Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody collateralize it and then releases a cryptocurrency version of the collateral. Okay.
So
Um,
explain what that means.
that
That's
means is that I'm, instead of giving um, dollar, say if I want to send $10,000 to you, if
yeah.
I'm going to take the money, it's or a truckload of cash, it's going to be a lot of money.
Yeah,
But if
yeah, yeah.
I go to the bank and send you a check for it, it's just one piece of check.
Yeah.
What I mean. Likewise, the transfer of value, if it is done by cryptocurrency, Stable coin is a coin that okay, let me track back. Cryptocurrency, one of the concerns for people is the volatility. Do you see what I mean? It is
Yes,
it's
very
4,000
volatile.
today. I write a book and
Yes, it
say
is.
4,000. Next day it is 3,200. Next day it is 105. Next day it is 60,000. It keeps going up and down. And so if you, as a merchant or as a person getting a pay, if you get your pay or your merchandise fees by using cryptocurrency, next day you turn around and value goes down. That's not
Yeah.
good, right? So
No, no.
volatility is a major problem, and we do
Yeah.
not want common people don't want that. If you
No.
say that it's going to go down, I'm not going to touch it.
No, uh-uh.
Yeah. And so stablecoin is simply a crypto version of a stable entity. Okay. It
So
could
that
be,
will stay the same
yeah,
value
so
or
yeah, it is using a collateral. We make the cryptocurrency stablecoin valued at some point, and that some point it could be $1, €1. So if it is released by U.S. government, the stablecoin, it will be collateralized to a dollar.
Okay.
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 Every dollar they release will have a collateral, maybe $1, a little bit more, as something, equivalent. And then, or it could be gold, it could be bonds, something like that, that is stored somewhere in the vault, and equivalent is released in cryptocurrency.
So
And then,
essentially, it's finding something to value against that is not volatile, or it
yes,
is not
absolutely.
as
That's not
nearly as
technically,
volatile.
yeah, we know that it is stable. And
That
so
we
I,
know is
and then
stable. Yeah.
so what we can do is that then people on the street, people who get paycheck, people who get unemployment benefit, people who get food stamps, all those people can be paid by stable coin.
From the way that I've understood it,
Um,
and is that there is a tension between fiat currency and cryptocurrency. And essentially, you're saying that not only can they coexist, but they may actually help one another.
There is a tension between the fiat currency and the cryptocurrency, but we can find them somewhere in between.
So why would I hold on to it? Like if I want to make sure I, I get my money and I want to keep it and I don't want to play with my money. I mean, maybe I could be like, look at Bitcoin. Like that suddenly, I don't know how much it is. It's so much, so it's ridiculous. But tomorrow it might be worth zero. So
Yeah.
why would I want it?
Okay. So you just like stocks go up and down.
Right.
You invest in this for the long term. So I if you believe in the technology for the long term, I invest in it, I keep it. Okay. I do that.
Can I ask a question? The President Trump
Mhm.
suggested, I think then it comes to something like buying 5% of all Bitcoin and holding it as a strategic reserve.
Mhm.
Do you think that that kind of integration with our governmental financial system is wise at this point?
From my point of view, I'm biased. I'm biased to cryptocurrency. Not
Uh-huh.
to I can say this. I think many of us cryptocurrency protagonists didn't like the meme coin aspect
Right.
of it.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because
That's
that is little cheap, or I mean, I can say that that's little, you know. But I think Bitcoin is a scarce resource. 21 million of them exist. You know, so
How
I
many?
think
mm,
21
it's
million. That's it.
Okay.
21
Okay.
million. Okay.
Out of which out of which 18 million is out, has been
Yeah.
mined and it's out. There is only 3 million left, 3 million left. And so I think it's all right. It's all right to hold cryptocurrencies, not because I believe in not all the cryptocurrencies, maybe the ones which have total value locked. Highest is, I think,
Mm,
I don't know the numbers today. Number one is TVL, is number one is Bitcoin. It's
Yeah.
a yeah, okay.
okay.
Number two, it's distant behind, halfway through is Ethereum. Okay, and then the whole lot of them, a big tail is there. But I think um, a, a basket of cryptocurrencies, good ones, well supported by a community of technicians and technology. Everyone, I feel that they can use it as a collateral. That will encourage, I feel, technological innovations in that. And
Mm.
like I said, technological innovation, it's not about just moving the technology, but also taking everyone with us. Do you
But
see what?
Yeah.
what I
Mhm.
find interesting is the belief in the coin, it gives it value. So this is another thing that I think I was confused about. It's the technology, but it still relies on that fiat currency need to be valued and believed in order
Mhm.
to have value.
Mhm.
True?
Yeah, that's all right. But I think it has an intrinsic value, right? It has it is at least Bitcoin. It is basically no country is uh, you know, generating it. It is generated by the the infrastructure, at least until now, at least that infrastructure, and there is a limit, scarcity, and that's it. At the end of 2030, I think that's it. No more bitcoins will be generated, whatever is in circulation, because that just like gold, in circulation, and there is value for it in transacting in it. To answer your question, Seth, I feel there is intrinsic value in this technology. And then the same way, the intrinsic value in Ethereum is the smart contract. Like I said, um, uh, uh, your wallet, your wallet goes with you. It's yours. You create it. That's it, right? Unlike any other wallet, that your wallet and decentralized ID that you have. We can have many decentralized IDs. Okay. And then that is the wallet is your gateway. The ID is a ticket into your gateway. Enter the
Yeah.
blockchain and cryptocurrency and transfer values. And when you transfer value, if there are any restrictions, the gatekeeper is going to be your smart contract that was introduced by Ethereum. Because I've given up everything else. I don't do any other courses, any other subject except this. Do you see what I mean? So,
Wow.
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
uh, blockchain, cryptocurrency, decentralized finance. I talk to people about it. My class is like unbelievable. I enjoy Thursday nights is my class and Tuesday night. It's a fun class. It is not a required class. It's not an elective, but there are kids staying there and learning.
Oh,
You see what I mean? And
I
so,
totally see. And I actually have another question I want to ask you.
no, sure, go ahead.
Obviously, with all this, like with Bitcoin is, I guess, becoming legal tender in some countries like Salvador,
Yes,
right?
yeah,
So, do you think more governments will adopt it, or
absolutely.
is this a risky move? You think they will
I
adopt
think
it?
I think many govern. I think I know. I have a list of governments which do not, which kind of totally said no cryptocurrency. Okay,
Okay.
China,
Yeah. Yeah.
China, and I have a list in my book. I listed them.
Yeah.
But that's handful. And I think it will become a legal tender in
You do.
many countries. Like I
Yeah.
think El Salvador gave every citizen, I may be misquoting it, one of the South American countries, let me put it this way, one of the South American countries um, gave every citizen a wallet with $30 worth of cryptocurrency. I don't know which currency it was. I think Bitcoin.
Really?
You know,
Okay.
and so I think they showed somebody making all this nice little South American dish. I don't know, and that
Mm.
lady is getting paid in Bitcoin. That
Really?
yeah,
Okay.
she must be a millionaire now. This was when they, I think, 2 or 3 years ago.
I know.
This was, but I think in countries like United States, countries like EU, which have fairly stable one, I think Chinese currency, where I mean, of course, they don't deal with cryptocurrency. China, um, where the currency is stable, it'll be um, it'll be coexisting with their fiat currencies. Do you see what I mean? And
Yeah.
they will say we are going to accept we're going to let the businesses accept cryptocurrency for payment. I mean, I hope they say that.
Yeah.
I think there is a regulation called MiCA in Europe. They have a 200-page one that says that any of the 20 of how many other countries they can accept that, but it's not going to replace the fiat currency. Okay,
It
that's one thing.
won't. Okay.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think there is a urgency for the countries to release stablecoin.
Right.
Everyone, okay, stablecoin, I feel, is simply um, digital crypto version of everyone's currency. That's it.
Okay.
Nothing else. It's simply that
Oh,
to
okay.
yeah, it's simply that for
So
people who don't want to deal with, like I said, the the instruments where stablecoin will be useful is, food stamps, aid checks. I don't know whether there's something aid checks and unemployment checks and things like that
But
where people
essentially,
don't.
stablecoin is an opportunity to utilize the technology of blockchain
Yeah.
without
but
having to incur the high variance of
Yes.
of
right. So my dollar is my dollar, and if you know, Swedish crowns is Swedish crowns, and it's
Mhm.
still the same currency, right?
Yeah.
With the
And
stable.
also,
So it
yeah,
wouldn't really be, it's just that I could actually technically use the
yeah,
blockchain
yeah.
and in this, right?
Yeah, and
Is that
at the
that's
same time,
good.
you're educating them. You're educating them. Do you see what I mean? Of
Yeah.
see, you're sharing the technology with people who might otherwise never ever get to see them. Do you see what I mean? So I mean,
Yeah.
this is my pet peeve, that everybody should learn. When it comes to technology, we should take everyone with us. So
Yeah,
I
I
think,
agree. I agree.
yeah,
well, there were
that's
big
very important.
moments,
Mm,
like big moments you would know
mm,
as a academic much more
mm,
about this, but
mm.
the when we went off of the gold standard, right? I mean, that there are moments where we've had to take great leaps of faith with
Mm.
our
Yeah,
currency,
yeah. Oh.
and that was scary.
Yeah, yes, exactly, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I write about it too. When gold standards, oh my God, this is like, are you making dollars out of thin air?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
how can we stand, whether we're going to go down or something like that? And, I think every time it happens that way, I think, I remember people didn't want to deal with internet at all.
Well,
It
but
was
you are talking about adoption of technology, and the fact of the matter is, when the internet came out, I thought it was stupid and it would go away,
Mhm.
and it was just like a carny game or something. It was just
Yeah.
whatever. It's
Mhm,
nothing. I
mhm,
didn't bother to get a email address until I started working in the internet industry. That was my first. I got hired at an internet company, and that was
mhm,
my first email
mhm.
address because
Yeah.
I thought it was so useless,
Mhm,
and that was probably about 6
mhm.
years into the internet, and obviously now I am a true
Yeah,
believer.
we don't even people don't even use
Yeah.
emails. Who uses emails, Seth?
Yeah.
I
Everybody
know.
uses text message. So I think I think um, the conversations are good. Everybody should have conversations. If you are afraid of something, ask somebody. I think it's technology. It is it's a technological evolution. It is a value evolution, revolution, or whatever it is, money revolution. And I
Right.
think and at the same time, it's not going to upend any of the big systems that we have. Take. It's going to be coexisting. It's a modern way of doing things. Do you see what I mean?
Well, you talk about technology. I mean, think about like you were saying, the phone
Mm,
is how fast did that? I mean, it went from no cell phones to
mm,
if somebody didn't
Yeah.
have a cell phone, I thought they were nuts in about, like, 3 or 4 years, right?
And
mhm,
I mean,
remember the
it was
beepers?
really I mean, before the smartphone, I'm just saying a cell phone in general,
mhm,
like, I went from nobody having a cell phone to everybody I knew having a cell
Mhm.
phone within just a couple of years.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Go
yeah, yeah.
absolutely. Go to um, developing countries. I don't know, developed countries like India. They all have 4 cell phones, 4 or 5 cell phones, because
Mm,
they don't have a house. They don't have anything else, but they have cell phones because it's so cheap.
yeah.
Uh,
That's interesting.
one for home, one for wife, one for things like that.
And I like
That.
what you said about,
Mm.
let's say I'm donating to, whatever foundation, and sometimes you wonder that do the people actually really get the money, where
Mhm.
you donated for? But you're saying like on blockchain,
Mm.
it will be recorded that
Mhm.
first of all it got there and it got to where it was supposed to
I
be. At least it's recorded.
Yeah, you can question that. Like for example, if my money went to address number 16, from address number 16 it went to 4, and I can question, what is that for? Is it
Mm.
Seth's personal account, or is it to a some food pantry or something? Do you see what I
Uh-huh,
mean?
uh-huh.
So it is
Okay.
there, and I can ask that question of where it how it was spent, and they can say, oh, look at the blockchain, the record is there. If they say, I don't know how it is, well, if they fumble, then we know that it. But so I think UN, anybody, any department that you
Yes.
have in the United States can say,
Yeah.
this much money is appropriated for you. How are you spending it? You know,
People are going to
just
be
yeah,
accountable
it's
for it.
just do a very high level. You don't have to go to the leaf level, but you can simply say, okay, this much was it will be transacted to you. It will be
Right.
granted to you. It will be sent to you. That can be on the blockchain as a little blip.
Uh-huh.
Then you can say, if president comes and asks, how was it spent? You can say, this is how it was spent. Then you find out that there is one branch that is not doing well. Then you can focus on that branch and say, what's going on here? What nonsense is going on here? Or something like that.
Ah.
So it's
So
a
you can start
distributed
asking
ledger.
like where
Yeah,
did the money
that's
go, you
yeah.
know?
So I think um, so going back to it, let me generalize that. You have cryptocurrency that has intrinsic value, intrinsic technological value, like in Bitcoin. Okay.
Mhm.
And then there is also this distributed ledger technology, and it can also intermediate instead of banks and other things. It can mediate between you and me using the smart contract. And then besides decentralized finance, it can also have other applications,
Mhm.
you know,
Oh,
which
okay.
which it is kind of being clouded by this finance application, but there can be so many more applications. It's there in my blockchain application book. Just read the first page of chapters. You can see many applications are there. You know, and so that's what we are focusing on. Um, you know, um, of course, I'm also focusing on decentralized finance because I know the finance has got a lot of money there. People are pouring money into decentralized finance. So
Yeah.
money. But there's also decentralized applications which are not finance applications. And we must understand it's not going to happen tomorrow. Like Seth said, it is phones are, 4 years it took me to get to this stage. But you must understand 50 years for Wright brothers to become uh, commonplace flight. I think you can go back and look at it,
Yeah.
flight.
Yeah.
And then automobiles, the technology was there, here, everywhere, until Ford brought out their assembly line and made it a public. Anybody can buy cheap versions.
Yeah.
Not
Mhm.
exactly cheap versions, but reasonably easy ones. To buy. It became a commonplace technology. We don't even think about it nowadays. As, oh, do you want a car? You must be really really cool or something like that. So likewise, I think in about 5 years from now, I would say we won't even be talking about
And
this.
I want to say, need to read your book,
Yeah.
Blockchain in Action.
Mm.
And didn't you just say also you wrote another book, or you are
Yeah,
still
I
writing
I
it?
am I
Just
wrote a book, blockchain. Wait, it's coming up. I think I'm hurrying up. It's with the editor. Blockchain, cryptocurrency, DeFi systems, concepts, and application. There is no code in it. Do you see what I mean? It's
Yeah.
all I'm articulating what's happening. I've captured the history,
Well,
but
we want to read that book.
it's got about 300 pages, 24 chapters. I'm writing everything. I'm answering, trying to answer every question that people ask me. It's all about plain English, and I have a wonderful editor who's editing it. I'm in 17th chapter, 17 done. I mean, material content is done uh, about 3 plus 4, 7 more chapters. Editing has to be completed, and it'll be published by World Scientific.
And I saw that you
would-
have won several teaching awards, and after speaking with you, I can see why.
Why?
You're very
Exactly.
This is how my classes are. In fact, I'm jumping up and down, believe it or not.
Oh, I
And
love
also,
it. I love
by
it.
the way, I do have Coursera blockchain courses, 4 courses that was released in 2018.
Okay.
Production was in 2017 to 2018, very, very early. Oh my God, it's going so strong. And I get mail from Turkey and get mail from all over, and I also got mail from Saudi Arabia saying that, oh my God, I'm able to take because you're a woman. Do you see what I
No, yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
it's nice. Initially, I thought, okay, these are fancy, but I think I don't. And then I also have Coursera 3 more courses on decentralized finance. I talk about all those instruments, and as I understand it, I present it in a way that I get it. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah,
Uh,
no,
yes.
thank you for
like
doing that.
arbitrage, I talk about arbitrage. I talk about swaps and flash swaps, flash loans, and things. I like pictures, lots of pictures and
It
things like that.
Oh,
And
I love that. I mean, you
yeah,
make just of talking to you today, you make me understand it much better
Yes.
than before.
we'll get through it. But I think it's going to be a little slow going. A
Yeah.
lot more hardships and lot more, tumble here, there, and you will hear of lots of scams. Um,
Yeah.
And then finally, even today we see internet scams, happening,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
Oh
think
yeah.
slowly once, my only hope is that um, SEC, Securities Commission, and all those 5 or 6 agencies come together and set the tone for all of us, and also for everyone involved. So it's not stymieing innovation, at the same time clarifying what is good, what is bad, what is
Yeah.
accepted, what is not accepted, so that we all can survive this technological innovation. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. That's
Mhm.
Yeah. I
true.
guess changing technologies, moving into a new technology is never smooth.
Mhm. Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
No,
It is scary because
it's scary.
again, you don't have to put it on the podcast. I drive a EV now. When I go somewhere, if I rent a car, I just have to take a few minutes to see how I drive, not an EV. Do you see what I mean? There's nothing.
Yes.
Do you see what I mean? So I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
that's the kind of thing that we are going through now, and we are lucky to be there.
yeah, it is cool. I mean, obviously, that's why we're making the show is because all this stuff is so
Mm.
amazing. But yeah, like what you were saying about the car. Well, the car, but there were no roads, so you got to build roads to make the technology really viable.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah. That's
there's
a
a
good
lot
point.
of
Yeah.
infrastructure.
Yes, that's a key word. We need infrastructure. More important, we need rules of the road.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like that.
Mhm,
All right.
mhm.
Well, thank you so very, very much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you
It's
so
so nice
extremely
talking to you.
much.
I enjoy talking to you, Seth and
Oh,
Caroline.
oh, we
Anytime,
enjoy
and
talking
also,
to you.
I think if you have any questions, shoot a question at me, and I keep answering people who ask me questions, and I learn from those. Do you see what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And let us know when your book is released so we
Yeah.
Yeah,
can
yeah, I
promote
will send you
it.
mail. I'll send you mail when that comes out. That is not code. I have little piece of code to say what is smart contract. That's it. And
Yeah.
everything is lots of pictures, 71 pictures. And, I'm really excited about it. And, for
Uh,
people to understand what's in there, so
Well, I'm
I'm
I,
very excited
excited
to read
about
it.
it.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. Yeah,
Well,
bye.
thank you so
All
much.
right.
Bye.
Thank you for watching or listening to The Internet is Crack. Tune in next week when we have another great conversation about robotics, AI, and the internet. You can watch us or listen to us on YouTube or Spotify or many other outlets. And don't forget to follow us on social media. See you next Monday.